Hi guys, Alberto here, you're watching the Bedroom Rocker YouTube channel, and today we are checking out the AC30 pedal. Depending on where you live, this may be branded as Joyo or Harley Benton, but they are the same pedal and they try to simulate the sound of a Vox AC style amp. So today I'm gonna open by playing the pedal over a backing track, then we're gonna run through the specs, I'm gonna show you a couple more sound clips, and finally we move on to the review part. So let's check it out. So the AC30 pedal attempts to recreate the classic sound of Vox amplifiers like the AC4, AC10, AC15 and the AC30 in a very compact and very affordable format. So you get a 3-band EQ, you have a level and a drive knob as you usually have in an amplifier, and then you get the voice switch. So by turning the voice all the way down, you get sort of a cleaner and fuller sound as you would in the normal channel of AC style amps. And as you crank the voice up, you start to get more compression, more gain, and the sound becomes way more mid and treble focused as it would in the top boost channel of those amps. Like the other pedals from the TrueTone series, there are a couple of different ways that you can use the AC30. The first one is as a regular overdrive by placing it in front of your amp. The second one is to use it as a preamp pedal. So instead of going to front of the amp, you plug it into the effects return of your amp, and this way you only use the power section of your amp. Finally, these pedals have got inbuilt cabinet simulation, so you can in theory also plug them straight into an audio interface for recording or into a mixing desk if you are performing live. For me, one of the problems with this pedal is that you cannot turn the cabinet simulation on or off. It's always turned on. So it's not optimal to use this as a regular overdrive pedal because it adds a lot of color to your tone and you don't want this colored tone going into your amplifier. So I usually find it best to plug it into the effects return and just use the power section of my amp. Then at the same time, the inbuilt cabinet simulation is not that great. So if I'm plugging this pedal straight into an audio interface or straight into a mixing desk, I usually find the cabinet simulation to be a bit harsh, especially if you add a bit of gain. So I usually like to add an impulse response or a proper speaker cabinet simulation on top of that. So in the introduction track, I have used the TrueTone Wall of Sound, which is my favorite cabinet simulation software, and I have used the impulse response of a 2x12 Vox cabinet loaded with Celestion Alnico Blue speakers, and then it's instantly a very recognizable Vox sound. So just to give you an idea now, I'm gonna play the exactly same riff and then add and remove the extra cabinet simulation from the wall of sound so that you hear how the pedal sounds on its own as well. So let's hear some more sound samples now. I'm gonna play a Fender Baja Telecaster into the Harley Benton AC30 into the Wall of Sound plugin with a cabinet simulation running. I'm gonna play a couple of different riffs with increasing level of gain, and in the end I've recorded a riff with a looper pedal, and I'm gonna then play with the settings of the AC30 to show you the entire range of each one of the knobs. So let me know what you think about the Joyo or Harley Benton AC tone. I think this is quite a decent pedal. It does a couple of very convincing Vox sounds, like from clean, sort of jangly Beatles sounds all the way to Brian May top boost rock and roll stuff. But in my opinion, to really shine, it needs either a good speaker cabinet simulation or an actual real guitar speaker cabinet. So the pedal by itself is not really a complete solution as advertised. And I think the same goes for the American sound and for the British sound, which are the Fender and the Marshall simulation pedals of the same line. The EQ section of the pedal is extremely powerful, so it really lets you shape your tone, but it's also very easy to dial in some terrible sounds there. Also for the voice and for the drive knob, I would definitely avoid going to the extremes. I think for both of them they sound best between 25 and 75%. And if you start to really crank the drive a lot, the pedal can get very noisy. So that's something to keep in mind. Try to avoid the extreme settings. The Harley Benton AC30 goes for about 30 euros here in Germany, so it's really hard for me not to recommend this pedal because it really does a couple of very convincing Vox sounds. It is also decently built. I would happily take this to a gig, and if you buy it from Thomann, you get a 3-year warranty anyway. So if you're chasing a Vox tone, but you don't want to pay or you don't want to carry a Vox AC30, I think this is a pretty good place to start. Also, if you are into home recording, but you don't like messing with digital amp plugins, this is a great alternative because it is fully analog. And also you can use it to play live, provided that you add a proper impulse response, speaker simulation, or plug into an actual power stage and guitar speaker cabinet. So that was my review on the Joyo or Harley Benton AC30. If you have any questions about the pedal, feel free to use the comment section below, and if you find the review useful, make sure to give it a big like. Finally, if you want to see more content like this, all about guitar, pedals, effects, and home recording, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you like what I'm doing here and you want to support the channel, also check the video description box below. There you find my Patreon link and also my affiliate links. If you use that to buy anything, I earn a small commission that really helps me to get more products for making reviews like this one at no additional cost for you. So keep on rocking and cheers!